not letting me use my webcam, so the video is going to be kind of crappy. But I guess we're going to have to take what we can get. Hello, everyone. Wow, not the entrance I was hoping for. I'm getting spoiled on AARP. Avery, where's Avery when I need him? he usually does all this work. But it looks like you can hear me and see me. I don't know if the microphone is going to work, so I might just have to yell across the room at you if. And Judy still can't see me. Interesting. Yeah. All right. Well, enough putzing around. We're here for some Qigong. So all you're going to need today is just a little bit of space and something you can lay down on it, because we're going to have a nice little Qigong nap at the end. So you're going to get a chance to lay down and relax. And some people might even fall asleep. So bring your teddy bear, your pillow if you want. But today we're going to be doing Qigong for better sleep. If you deal with insomnia like I did for years, sometimes my problem was I couldn't fall asleep. I'd lay in bed and my mind would start going and going and going. And pretty soon it's 2 a.m, 3 a.m. And then, it kind of creates this vicious cycle. Some people, their problem is they can't stay asleep. They fall asleep easy and then they wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. and then they can't get back to sleep. And some folks will sleep all the way through the night, wake up, and they're still tired and groggy. They don't want to get up. So insomnia can take these 3 forms. Qigong will help in a lot of different ways. And obviously, sleep has so many factors. We can't say Qigong is just going to solve everything, but it can contribute in a lot of ways to a better quality of sleep and establishing some really healthy habits that could lead to better sleep. And I'll show you, there's also one very particular exercise that really changed the game for me. And I'm going to share that at the very end of class. That for me, it basically just knocks me out anytime I want to fall asleep, and I sleep deeper after doing this exercise. So stick around for the end, because that is really, really powerful. And everything we do in the class will kind of lead into that. Otherwise, I just tell you that and do that and we'll be done. But it's like the view at the end of the hike. You got to get there to really appreciate it. All right, let's get started. And there's no music on this, so we're going to have a little quiet Qigong. And some people will have a little music in the background in your own setting, and that can be really nice to do. I'm going to start today just hands in your low belly, and take a few deep breaths into your core, in through the nose. Long exhale out through your mouth. Inhale through the nose. Long breath out through your mouth. Gather all the stress, all the tension from the day on the inhale. And let it all release on the exhale, out through the mouth. It's a cleansing breath. Later, we'll just breathe through the nose. But at the beginning of class, a nice way to release stress in through the nose and out through the mouth. All right, today we're going to start in a little different place. We're going to begin with a gentle body vibration. So you plant your feet on the ground comfortably and you just bounce up and down. Folks that do classes with me often know the more wild version where you can shake all around. This is going to be a more subdued vibration. You're going to keep your feet grounded. And I'm going to scan through your body. I'll take you through little by little. Start with your awareness at the crown of your head. Let your head just kind of wobble around. Release any neck tension. The balancing is happening in your knees and in your hips mainly. So if you have knee pain or hip pain, it works to do it seated. If you have put a big cushion here, something you can kind of, that has a little spring to it. And if you want to, anytime during class, take a load off your legs, just sit down and do it. It even works for vibration. Okay? Anytime in class, if you have something that hurts, please change it, modify it right away. Relax your forehead, relax your temples, your eyes. When you close your eyes, you transfer a massive amount of brain power that goes into visual processing, and you reallocate it to sensory processing. You're going to feel a lot of sensations that you normally don't notice when you close your eyes. Feel your shoulders. You also want to lift and drop the arms up and down. So it's kind of like a lift and a drop. And there's this kind of vibration. See how the arms are relaxed and they're vibrating as a result of the drop. Like water flicking off your fingers. Shake the hands lightly. And beside. Now let the vibration move down the chest, the back, all the way to your belly, and relax your belly. It's easy to spend most of the day sucking the belly in and tightening it, right? You get permission now, let it all hang out. Relax your belly. And your organs relax, your nervous system relax. This big sighing breath is a purging exercise to release old energy. Feel the vibration in your hips, the bottom half now. Hips, your butt, your thighs vibrate. Down to the thighs, the knees. Feel your calves relaxing. Ankles, your feet. Feel the bottoms of your feet connected to the ground. And now bring your awareness to your entire body. Feel the entire body at once, vibrating. And now slow it down. And now stop moving and feel all that buzzing, tingling through your body. Take a deep breath. Big exhale. What do you notice inside of you? Beautiful. Let's open your feet just a little bit wider. Go through some joint warm-ups to release any tension that might have crept up and got stuck to you today. Start with these circles here. Open the chest. Keep those knees bent just a little bit. Roll the shoulders back and down. The elbows kind of pull not just out, but to the side. They pull laterally, and it pulls the shoulder joints open and back. And remember, anytime something hurts, just sit, take a break, relax. This is, I will never say no pain, no gain. It should never hurt. Pain is a very important red flag. You might be tired, that's okay. But no sharp pain in Qigong. Right, now this next one, your palms are forward. You're going to take a big step forward with your left foot into a bow and arrow stance. How about front stance, a lunge? Your palms will face like this. One hand goes above 2 times. The other hand goes above 2 times. You're almost like skimming your hair with this top hand. And you keep the same angle of the wrist through the full cycle. Okay, as it goes back and forward. So if you've been sitting at all today, how many hours have you sat today? I have sat for many hours today. I do coaching work, computer work. So if you sit like me, don't worry, just do lunges. Lunges are the counter pose to sitting. Go ahead and shake your arms out, release. Switch your legs, now lunge the other side. So think about it. This is the sitting, flex, flexed, hunched. What's the opposite? Extended, extended, open. This one, you're going to go back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Palms open. 5, 6, 7, 8. And notice the stance is kind of wide. You don't have to be on a tightrope. You don't need to be too wide either. It's a nice, how far? Just the right amount. One of my teachers would always say, how far should my feet be apart? She said, just the right amount. How many times should I do this? Just the right amount. It was very annoying, but eventually I kind of got the point. It depends. You'll figure it out as you try. You'll do too much and you'll say, oh, that was too much. You'll do too little and you'll know. And then you'll find that center balance. Sometimes you got to hit the edges to find the center. Shake those arms out and now open the feet wide. Your toes can point out. Important point about the knees. I got an email today. Somebody was having knee pain. Tai Chi and Qigong can put a lot of pressure on the knees. So check the angle. When you bend your knees, check that your knees are bending in the same way as your foot. So if your foot is forward and your knee is rotating, you can create this grinding. So open the toes out and your knees go in a smooth line here. So one of our strategies for today is to bring the energy down. Think about a pyramid, one of the big Egyptian pyramids. They're super steady, right? Big base and a sharp top. Imagine flipping that pyramid upside down so you got a real skinny base and a big top, right? That's what happens throughout the day. Our energy gets taken up. Our head is overstimulated, our body understimulated generally. So pumping the energy in the blood down to the lower body will help clear your mind, will help clear this energy out of your head, off of the chest, and bring it down here. Palms open, together, and now let's glide left and right. So when you're gliding, you can keep the knees still tracking with the toes. And then your hands will press together and gently move off to the side of the bent knee. And you'll feel that little twist. You feel that little thoracic twist through this middle part of your back. Head turns away from the hands to complete the twist. Oh, I'm getting some nice crackles here. How about you? Gliding. Squeezing the blood. Circulating it. All right, beautiful. Now come on back. Gather your arms in a circle. Up and sink down. And imagine that you're collecting all the stray thoughts from the day, and you're just casting a net, capturing them, and filtering them, taking them out. I just saw a video today of these folks cleaning up the Great Pacific Garbage Patch in the middle of the ocean between Hawaii and California. They're just dragging big nets, capturing all that junk. So in Qigong, we do that. These movements are capturing all the stray thoughts, all the worries, the little tensions that creep up. We filter them and we transform them. That once they gathered all that plastic, they ground it up into little pellets and made sunglasses out of them. So in Qigong, nothing is bad. We just compost it. Your stress is a form of energy that's just misdirected. So you can transform stress. Instead of demonizing it, let's redirect it. Stress means you have a lot of power, but it's just under resistance. Redirect that energy and utilize it. Beautiful. Let's do a few stretches to kind of squeeze out the body. It's like you got a sponge and you squeeze all the dirty water out. Take a big step forward with that left leg. You're going to see a theme here. I love my lunges in the evening. Let's do, I'll mirror you here. So take your right leg forward and the right hand. And you're going to twist the right hand and rotate it externally. And then the back hand, the left hand, internally rotate. Pull them apart as if there's a rope on each arm, gently pulling the arms from the spine and deepen the lunge. And the last thing, turn your head, look at the back hand, and feel that Squeeze. Like a dirty sponge, wring out any tension from the day that you'd like to release. And now, come back to center, open wide. And like pulling two ropes, pull it to your core. This one you can just breathe through the nose. And to the belly, centralize your energy. Compost and reallocate. To the left foot, left hand external, right hand internal. Deep in the lunge, twist. So Dao Yin, there's pushing and pulling, taking yourself to the edges so you can find your center. There should not be too much pressure on any one part of your body, okay? Distribute the pressure so it's even. If there's too much pressure on your knee, back off of it. Shift your weight more. Too much pressure on the shoulder, spread it out. And back to center, open the hands, pull the ropes, sink the hips, and draw to the core. Let's do one more on each side. To the right, right hand, left hand. So not only are you pulling apart, you're rotating to your edges. The knee flexes, the hip extends, the spine rotates. Maybe you're even getting taller. For this one, I like to breathe out through the mouth to purge. And then on the next one, to center, I breathe in and out through the nose to accumulate. Pull in. Draw the energy to your core. Switch. Last one. Turn the other foot. Turn the hip. External, internal. Pull, push, pull, push, pull, push. Feel where your body is a little stagnant. Squeeze out anything that's stuck inside of you. Back to center, pull the ropes toward the core, and sink down, draw to your belly. Beautiful. Give it a shake. Rub your hands, and if there's any achy spots, maybe you've got a knee that's talking to you, or a hip, or just send some extra love and attention to your body. You want to take care of those little points of tension early. Nip them in the bud. If you ignore those things, they tend to just get bigger until they get your attention, whether or not you want to give it to it. So give your body the attention immediately. Don't worry, you won't spoil yourself. Let's do a ankle exercise, and then we're going to get into some flows. I want to share with you a Qigong sequence that's very simple, very easy to learn, and very grounding. And it's a really ideal one for the evening. So a couple more movements first. Take your left foot forward, or either left foot, doesn't matter. You may want to hang on to something for this one, just for a little support. Lift the heel up and rotate your toes and ankles. Put your finger on your dantian, 2 inches below your belly button. If you had a big Texas belt buckle, it'd be right there. I'm looking at thrift stores for a belt buckle that says DT. One day I'll get a dantian belt buckle here. Maybe I'll just have to make one. We'll see. Go the other way. This dantian here is the energy center, this physical tank, like a battery. By the end of the day, you can get exhausted. So we want to recharge right here. Turn that foot backwards and roll the tops of your feet. Good. Crackle, crackle. Go the other way. And press and hold. Take a deep breath, and you may want to cushion here. If this is painful, just make it softer. Use a cushion, use a blanket, something to pad the tops of your foot. Will make a big difference. All right, give that foot a little shake, and you might even notice the difference between your feet. You stand and feel not just the ankle, but the whole leg might feel a little different just from opening up that point. Other foot, step forward, lift the heel, and rotate. So its body is connected in so many intricate ways. And it's I'll never forget a couple weeks ago we were out in the garden and I had brought this long hose all the way to our backyard to water the raspberries. Go back the other way. And it was attached to a sprinkler, and I walked all the way in. I turned on the water, and I heard a scream, and my 2-year-old daughter was standing next to the hose, and it suddenly burst all this water out. Freaked her out. She was fine. And now take that foot, go backward, roll the tops of your feet. So in Qigong, it's kind of like that. You kind of generate energy in one part of your body, and then it can affect far-reaching areas, both positively and negatively. A blockage or a tension in one area can actually have far-reaching effects too. Go back the other way. So you can kind of think of it as this long, intricate hose system. We have blood, we have lymph, and in Qigong they talk about the meridians, which are energy channels, hoses that carry energy, or more like electric lines might be a better analogy. Press and hold the tops of the feet. Deep breath. Long exhale out. I actually know a few of you have lost electricity recently. How disruptive that is when your energy gets cut. All of a sudden you realize how many things you've been depending on, right? Shake that foot out and release. So Qigong is like kind of repairing that energetic grid, both the power plant and the wires and the connections in between. I want to do one more full body stretch, and for this one, I'd like you to grab a chair. You can use a chair, you can use a couch, a countertop, something we're going to be kind of leaning on here to support our forward fold. To start with, though, we'll do a back bend. So just take your feet a wide, comfortable stance, lace your fingers up, reach up high, big inhale, squeeze up, top, top, top. And you might even do a little ankle pump here, toes and heels rocking. Just flushing the body, all the garbage from the day. Your lymphatic system right now is gathering dead cells, bacteria, viruses, and it's cleansing it out of your interstitial fluids. It's dumping it into your blood to be filtered. The consistency of your blood is being regulated right now. Your nervous system is getting a little pump and getting regulated. And now, a gentle back bend, deep breath in. And then soften the knees, exhale, arms float back down. Just feel that down regulation now. The nervous system gets stimulated and now relaxing. Face your chair or countertop, whatever you can lean on, and put your hands on it. You can do the seat of the chair. Some folks might even need a little higher starting point. The back of the chair might work. Bend the knees and fold from your hips with your knees bent real generously. If you can even put your forearms or your head down. And the purpose here is to get a stretch along the backs of your legs and back body without loading too much onto your joints, so that the prop will help unload your joints. So modify if you need. You can do it taller or further. Some folks who are confident in forward folds might even just go down without grabbing on anything. You can walk your knees. You can kind of shift your hips a little bit. Just work out any tension from the backs of your legs, hips, and glutes. When you're ready to come out, you're going to bend the knees generously and very slowly use your legs to push down against the ground. And you rise up using your leg power, arms limp, shoulders shrug, up, back, and down. Awesome. Give your body a brush sweep. This might be a good chance to grab a sip of water. It's a little hot up here. I don't know about where you are. And now let's get into the 5-element Qigong. Really simple, really powerful form. I learned this from Lee Holden. And I like this form for the evening because not only is it simple, but it's very steady. The legs pretty much stay in the same position through all 5 movements. So it's very stabilizing and grounding. And there's plenty of resources that I can share with you to get all the nuances and the details. So I'm going to just give you a simple explanation. Don't worry about the details. We can always follow through those later. Start with your feet a comfortable distance. You really can decide how far. Bend the knees and let's open the form. Inhale up. Exhale, sinking down. Keep that soft bend in the knees, the hips a little dropped, a little tucked. Inhale up, exhale down. At this point in the class, your breathing will be mostly through the nose. But don't feel like you have to suppress a yawn or a sigh. Those are fine. We begin with the metal element. Buddha holds up the earth, scoop the energy ball, take it up the center, spiraling outward, lifting up and overhead. And then exhale, set it back down, slowly sinking back down. We'll do it 6 times. Inhale, coming up. Spiraling, you open the lungs, open the chest, the thumb and index fingers, where your large intestine meridian runs. It's a gentle stretch. 2. You might move a little faster, a little slower than me, that's fine. Take your lungs to the fullness of each breath. And one more time here, gather. And release. Metal supports the water, like metal pipes. Minerals enriching the water. We move to the water element, the fountain. Your hands trace energetically the inside of your ankles, up the inner thighs, up the belly, to the collarbones. Inhale, rise like water pumping up and overflowing in the fountain. A little internal rotation of the wrists as you rise up the middle. Now, the water nourishes the wood, going through the generative cycle of the 5 elements. Trace the fingers up the ribs, liver meridian. Wood element to the crown, open wide. It's one of my favorite Qigong moves right here. I love that image of the tree, your body, the trunk, your arms, the branches, fingers, the leaves. Energy is that fragrance, fruit, the flowers. Trading sides. Inhale up, side. To the crown, and like that 1,000-petaled lotus of enlightenment. Open the crown of your head. The wood element represents all the plant kingdom, not just the tree, but vines, bushes, grass, bamboo. that seed. Your body has this seed of enlightenment in your brain, waiting to bloom and open. And the wood then transforms into fire. Cloudy hands, your hands float like clouds across the body, shifting from side to side, your hands soft but not limp, active but not stiff. Breathe comfortably and find your sense of rhythm here. This is for the heart, soothing the heart. Bringing your heart rate, your blood pressure back to balance. Finish with the earth element. Pebble in the pond. Your hands skim out like ripples in the water, spreading out. Tailbone drops like a pebble into the water. The hands ripple out. And ultimately, after the fire, the ashes fertilize the earth, nourishing it for new growth. You sink the hips and you tip the body just a little bit forward, almost bowing forward just a little bit as you sink down. How much of your day has been spent with totally parallel, symmetrical, rhythmic movement? This has a big effect on the calming aspects of Qigong, regulation aspects. And now encircle your arms, Zhanzhuang, the hands, arms embrace the tree. Let the tip of your tongue rest on the roof of your mouth, just behind the front teeth. A soft gaze where you see your peripheral just as much as what's in front of you. Relax your eye muscles, which spend so much time focusing on little letters, tiny images. Looking at small screens narrows our focus, and our eyes lose that ability to see the broader perspective. So you can see, where is the edge of your vision? It's blurry, but you can pick up color, shape, movement. Martial artists would train with this soft gaze because they had to see someone coming to their side, not just focus on what's right in front of them. And so we can use that skill not for martial application, but for self-awareness. Qigong and Tai Chi can compost and reuse the technology that was created in large part to fight and to defend, and to reallocate it for self-awareness, for compassion, for healing. Like a knife that was used to hurt someone can then be used for surgery to heal someone. As we stand and meditate, take something from your day that was hard, that was difficult, that felt like pain or a failure or a disappointment. And just hold it in the energy and let it dissolve, and let it be composted, broken down into a lesson, into an awareness. to compassion. Your hands now move towards your body, and just an inch or two from your skin, scan your aura. The aura has many layers. This layer, just about an inch from your skin, you can pick up. Feel like a heat, magnetism. And imagine you're washing, you're cleansing your aura. Your hands are like magnets picking up iron filaments, filtering the plastic from the ocean, picking up the garbage from the day and collecting it. Feel the hands scanning and picking up all that stray energy. And when your hands feel full, you can shake them and release and discharge that energy. And the hands relax to your belly. Take a deep breath in and out. Now, if you can, prepare to lay down on the ground. If you can't lay on the ground, a recliner will do. You're going to want to be able to lean back with your feet supported either on the ground or elevated on something. If laying on the ground is also hard on your back, get yourself a bolster or a rolled blanket, something to put under your knees. And I'm going to show you a magical practice that changed my life. That when I first learned this, I'll start you off seated just so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. So just sit on the ground. You can prop your hands behind you. Bring your feet out and you just rock them in and out like this. And there's several versions. What you want to look for is the thigh bone and the femur is rolling. It's not just your ankles, right? The whole leg is rocking. This is kind of the gentle version. If you want a little bit more intensity, which I use if my mind's really racing, it's just too much up here, you bring your heels together and you tap the balls of the feet. You might even be able to bring the baby toes all the way out to the floor on the outswing. Depends on your hip mobility. If that's painful, just go back to the swinging. Or some people will angle it so that arches tap instead of the bone. So I first learned this when I was 19, and I was just getting into Dawn Yoga at the time. And my teachers shared this with me, and I will never forget because I had been living for years where I would toss and turn all night long. And I would wake up just tangled in my blankets because I had rolled over every which way, dozens of times a night. And the first time I learned this, we did it for about 5 minutes. Maybe I counted 500 times or something. It was quite a while. And what you'll experience, even today, even in this short time, is that sensation of energy rushing down the body. So let's just stop right there, close your eyes, and see what you feel in your legs. You feel it's almost like a river flowing down. It's draining and drawing the energy out of your head, down to the feet. So now let's go all the way down to the ground. You can lay down, use that blanket, that pillow, prop, blanket, whatever you need to support your back, your head. And let's do some more tapping. And if you want to count, that is another way, kind of like counting sheep, to occupy your mind without giving it too much to do. So, toe tapping. Your arms relax, your head relax. So I remember the first time I did this, I went to bed that night, and I laid down on my back, and I pulled the covers up, and I just kind of pulled the blankets up so my feet could swing under my, without hitting the blankets. And I fell asleep. And then I slept all through the night, and I woke up, had not moved at all. I was in the exact same position. My blankets were right where I left them, and I could not believe it. It was the first time that ever happened. And since that day, I use it often. I use it if I need to take a nap or if I want to fall asleep. And if you do this every day for a week, 100 times, 500 times, some people count 1,000 taps. Depends how much you got in your head. It can clear it and calm you down. And so then I was so excited, I would go to like a house party and I would just sit people down on the floor. I said, "You guys got to try this." I was destined to be a teacher. I'd get a whole circle of people sitting on the floor at some party, tapping their toes together. So at any point, when you feel relaxed, you can stop and just sink into that deep, relaxed state for a few minutes. Feel your eyes relax. Your tongue. Your neck. All the muscles between your bones. With each breath, imagine your body melting into a puddle, like water soaking into the sand with each wave. With each breath, release any unnecessary tension. See if you can feel your heart beating and your pulse echoing through your being. you'd like to stay a little longer, feel free. And even if you've had just a moment of total relief, your body and mind have benefited greatly. If you start to develop a rhythm and a routine, you can access even deeper levels of relaxation through Qigong. If you're ready to transition back, you can rub your hands together. And massage your face, your eyes, scalp, neck. Your knees into your chest, circling circles each direction. And roll to your side and stay in that fetal position for a couple of breaths. Slowly pushing yourself back up to a comfortable seat. Depending on where you are, maybe it's time to begin your evening routine. If you've got things ahead of you in the rest of your evening, I hope you can take some of this calmness and consciousness with you. And if you'd like to share in the chat, what did you experience today? If you have questions, comments, contributions are welcome as well. And we will be back next week with Vivian Chow. Master Vivian is going to be sharing some more of her incredible repertoire and experience that she has to bring to our kind of shared time slot here. So we're going to be alternating week after week. My class on my channel and hers on her channel. So if you haven't already subscribed to her channel, make sure to do that. And I will put that link here. And no need to type anything if you're feeling really relaxed, especially with this calming practice. Sometimes your verbal mind has long gone, and that is actually a wonderful sign. So let me get her channel for you so you can make sure to join us next week. And if you'd like to do this 5-element Qigong practice with more detail, I can also send you a link with some more instructions on it. All right, I see a few things in the comments. Let me get to that in just a second. And Vivi and I are planning to get together soon to make some more videos. We've collaborated on many of the videos you see on our channels, and we're a pretty darn good team. So I'm excited to share this class with her and share it with you. All right, and sorry about those technical difficulties. I think we'll have it figured out by next time. Patricia says, I saw something about 3 a.m. waking is associated with liver imbalance. There's a whole kind of chart in traditional Chinese medicine, which is kind of a foundation for a lot of Qigong, where each organ kind of has a time slot where it is most kind of active. I won't speak to diagnosing of anything with that because it's too complex and out of my scope, but it is worth looking into that. And there can be a lot of reasons, because sometimes students will share, I keep waking up at 3 a.m. exactly, or 2:30 or 4:15 or something. And in the yoga tradition, this period of time in the very early morning, 2 hours before sunrise, called the Amravita, the hour of ambrosia, the Amravela, excuse me. And this time is meant to be traditionally used for meditation. So it's a very sattvic time, very clear time where like everybody else is asleep. There's no noise in the air. Cell phones aren't going off. People aren't driving. People aren't talking. So that the collective consciousness is also very like clear, sattvic, very, very open. And so I often encourage folks, if they keep waking up at 3 in the morning, 4 a.m., just sit there and meditate or journal. Like use that time as as your spiritual practice, rather than just sitting there worrying or stressing or seeing it as a bad thing. So sometimes insomnia can be a sign of another part of you that's wanting to come forward, to come awake. And until we address it, it may just keep knocking at our door. So just a thought. But yeah, definitely look into the organs, because there is a lot of theory around that, which is beyond what I can share. I had a very stressful day. The practice was just what I needed. Thank you, Georgina. I'm glad to hear that you were relaxing. Paula says, after the toe tapping, I felt very relaxed. Almost fell asleep at 2 p.m. Yeah, it really is. Like if you like to do naps and you want to just knock out 5 minutes of toe tapping, and you will be down for the count. And naps can be a really powerful way to recharge if you find yourself going to these peaks and valleys. Napping too long can affect your sleep at night, of course, so there's a balance there. And I don't know if I pronounced that right. Zingha. Thanks, I enjoyed tonight's class. I'll sleep deeper tonight from Detroit. Beautiful. Thanks for joining. Nancy just started with me. Welcome. Oh, good. I'm so glad. I love Qigong too. I love sharing it. I had a teacher who said the only thing better than learning Qigong is teaching it. So you get all the benefits plus the multiplied effect of the contribution that you get to make. That's very rewarding too. So a lot of folks, they say, oh, I need to go through a teacher training. I need to become a master, and then I can teach. But one of my teachers said, if you learn for a day, you can teach for a day. So today you learned this move, you can teach somebody that move. You learned toe tapping? That's what I did. I just started teaching people. Nobody told me, okay, now you go teach. Just said, check this out, guys. It's amazing. So you learn for a day, you can teach for a day, and you'll get the benefits will go deeper, and your progress, your progression will actually multiply. If you like Qigong, you want to go deeper, don't try to learn it, teach it. Yeah. And yeah, tonight is a good chance also to just practice it again and get it into your long-term consciousness. Yeah. Tamara, second time doing Qigong. Very different from what I'm used to doing. Yes. Qigong is, it's this like new old thing, it's this hidden treasure that's been around for thousands of years, but each generation kind of revives it. And what's beautiful about doing Qigong at this day and age is now we have access to all the teachings. All the teachers are putting things on YouTube, making videos, so you can kind of see, in the old days, you just had, like, if you're lucky, you had like one teacher. And there was, especially the culture that Qigong comes from, there's a lot of cultural aspects of like the real loyalty to the lineage, to the practice, to doing it just the way your teacher did it. And what I'm seeing nowadays, which I really value, is the creativity that Qigong can draw upon resources and teachings from many aspects and combine the best of all of it. So that's what I love to teach. I love to integrate anatomy and neuroscience, and yoga, and so hopefully that resonates. And I always when sometimes I'll go to other Qigong classes too, and it just doesn't resonate, and it's easy to say, oh, Qigong isn't for me, but if you go to 10 different teachers, you'll get 10 different experiences. So if I'm not resonating with you too, then don't give up on Qigong either. Go to Vivian's class, find Nick Lawfrey, go to Lee Holden. There's so many other teachers out there that might have, that blend of what you're looking for. Yes, the wood element is my favorite. Nola's asking my cat's name. This is Maluz, Maluzi. I don't have a webcam to turn around, but she's napping over there. And then you'll see Shay Toon running around too, and she's the other half of my two cats. They're sisters, and Shay Toon means mischievous in Farsi, and Maluz means like a sweet princess. And they definitely live up to their names. My best hours for chilling is between 4 to 6 a.m. and I turn on my meditation music then. Yeah. That's like in my ideal world. I'm a early bird wannabe. I love it when I can get up early and just, it's they call it the golden hour. It really is just magic. But I'm also a night owl, so I kind of have to, it's hard to do both. So I'm always, wanting to be, to wake up earlier, to go to sleep earlier. And when I get into that rhythm, it's really becomes so magical. So maybe we'll do like an early morning class. That'll get me up. That's usually the only way I could do it back in the day. I would do a sunrise class, and then I was like, all right, people showing up, they paid for it, I guess I gotta go. So there's a real magic there. So you're reminding me. All right. Well, if there's anything else, you can type it in the chat. You can also reach out to me. I'll put my email in the chat here. So feel free to send me a line if you think of something later. And check out next week. Tune in, and I'll be there. I'm learning from Vivian, and really value her as a teacher and what she has to offer. And then I'll be back in 2 weeks for more. Also type in the chat, what do you want me to do next week? What theme would bring you back? What benefit would you really want to focus on? Drop it in the chat or send me an email, and I'll take that into consideration. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, evening, and rest of your week, everyone. Take care.